And we're live.
But we were lucky because it's a small town, so you go in and some of the people I know were law enforcement or judiciary, so we kind of had help. And then a lot of times they just put them in a nut house. They take them over and put them in a place called Jones, which is a psychiatric ward at the local hospital. So he spent a lot of time in there. You know.
Reagan got rid of those, didn't he? All those psych wards. Wasn't that a big thing that he
turned
took
them loose,
for?
put them out on the street?
Yeah, and then like a lot of them ended, or just like put them in prison. Maybe that's an exaggeration. Maybe it was like he's releasing these insane people, and then they go out in the world and they commit crimes, or they're homeless and like, you know, do something transient or illegal, and then they're thrown into prison with like real criminals, and it's just like someone who had a, like, you know, paranoid schizophrenia. Did you ever hear about that, Woody?
Yeah. This is, as far as I know, that's all right.
Yeah. Because like, are they back now? Like they don't really.
I don't think so.
Yeah, they don't
I
really
don't think
have
there are
been
mental
undone.
No,
I feel like that's
if
what
you've had real
homeless are
problem.
oftentimes. You know, people.
For sure.
I was just downtown last week. I'm making a music video, and I went down to shoot some video down there. And you know, again, I spent some time with my father. You know, he exposed me to this type of it's psychosis, really.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very recognizable. The gait, the way you walk, the way you carry yourself, all the indicators are. You know, 99% of the people I saw downtown, and I saw hundreds. I mean, downtown LA has blocks and blocks of tent villages, and the gait, the walk, you can tell some are on medications. They just kind of not. There's no reality. There's thousands of them down there, and those are the individuals that should be sort of being helped in an institution someplace, but they don't exist. We have an old prison that could easily be transitioned into some type of facility to help these folks, but we don't have the political will to say, look, let's put them in there, get them help, get them treatment, but we don't want to. But it's about their dignity. They're you don't want to infringe on their dignity. Well, you live in a fucking street. Where's the dignity in that?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's. I mean, a lot of it. Very few people that I believe on the street that I've run into are there because they want to be, or because they have a choice not to be. It's not,
or even if they are making that choice, they're not capable of making that choice, really.
Exactly.
Yeah, when I was in Seattle, that's the worst I've ever. I mean, I've seen the tent villages in LA, and it's awful. But there was something about seeing them in Seattle, where like we went down by, I don't know if it's called the wharf or whatever, but it's like down by the water where all the there's like a carousel, and like it's where all those seafood restaurants are. It's a real nice little trendy area, and we all went down there for dinner. And then we started walking back to the hotel. It's maybe half a mile walk. Like everything's uphill in Seattle for some reason. And like we just walked through this area, and there they are. They're just coming out of the shadows like a Michael Jackson Thriller video. Just like 80, 90 of them. Just like walk. And I don't know if it was like methadone night or like they were all heading toward the same place for some reason or another. But it was ridiculous. And then the same thing in Atlanta. Whenever I picked Chiz up from the bus station that time, they were having they had the food truck out there that was giving away like the meals for all the homeless, these styrofoam plate meals, and there must have been between 50 and 100 of them like lined up getting these meals, and then you could see them like they get the meal, and it was probably like a sandwich and some chips and an apple or something like that, because like they eat it rapidly and then throw the fucking styrofoam plate on the ground, and so you just saw them like tumbling in the wind every fucking where all throughout like that park area. It was absurd. Super fucked up. That's where like Chiz got off the bus or train or whatever the fuck it was, whatever mode of transportation from the 1800s he picked that week.
Horse and carriage.
He got off the fucking carriage and like immediately got propositioned for weed. Like he's like, I just had stepped foot into the state of Georgia, and this guy was like, yo, you want some weed? And I was like, just everywhere.
I guess so. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I guess. I'm not gonna say no.
I took the bus so I could bring my own, bud.
Now
you St. Louis guys, you guys hip to Kathleen Madigan, comedian?
I've heard the name, but I couldn't put her name, to a face. Yeah, I'm not that.
She has a whole thing she does on homeless people. It's funny experience. All right.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. Continue.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think I don't like the homeless. I think we should do something not with them, but to them.
You know, we need, you know, with all these professional sports, just all it seems like every single professional sport, all the 4 major ones here, all the ratings are going down. People are losing interest. We could
create a new one where the homeless people are fodder.
With the homeless. No, they're not fodder. They're paid. I won't say well, but better than homeless. You know, like pay them $15 an hour, and then you just
they're paid a non-zero sum of money to do
a non-zero sum of money, and it starts out with just like making a mirror league to the NFL, and it's the HFL, the Homeless Football League. And or like the recently homeless football league. You know, they'd have to do some marketing, punch it up, you know, show like, look, we got a fucking we got a storage container they all live in now. They love it.
So what you're saying is the bum fights guy was a hero ahead of his time.
Absolutely.
Well, he was a little, well, you know what, I like it. It was great. Because bum fights was entertaining as hell, but I think it's a little. Kyle used Kyle's word gauche at this point. It's overdone. Bum fights has been done. Are we going to double dip in that? No.
No. We don't go back to that.
We have millions of homeless people to utilize. We don't go to one-on-one fighting. We could do war reenactments with them. All sorts of things.
You guys are fucking triggering me left and right here. Okay. I was 14. I'm riding home on my bicycle. I get this fucking horrible feeling in the pit of my stomach, right? I drive up, there's this little bar by my house called Carnoots, and it's had this, you know, just going home always sucked. And I just had this bad feeling. Of course, I drive by Carnoots, and there's this big crowd out in the parking lot. And I just, oh no, I drive up. There's my father having a fight with this old drunk, a guy like in his 60s, right? This big old dude. And my father's losing, all right? So it's like I'm watching. And worst thing is, back in the day, getting T-shirts that had school names on was a big deal. We had played at Hotchkiss Prep School, and I stole this great T-shirt, Hotchkiss Prep on it, right? And it's my favorite T-shirt. My father's wearing it, and it's torn and it's bloodied. And I go up and I'm standing there, like everybody goes, "Your father's getting his ass kicked." I go, "Fuck, go ahead, Fred. Have a good night, man."